college teacher asking his student if they sell drugs. Hello you guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing our makeup while also gossiping a little bit about why I dropped out of college. Yes, you heard it, she dropped out. First I need to angle the camera in a way that I can do my makeup and talk to you guys. Reasons why I dropped out of college. First things first, I do want to have a little disclaimer and say that this video in no way is trying to persuade you which way in life. Everyone has their own path and their own way to go. So don't take this as she's convincing me to drop out of college. I'm simply telling you guys why college did not work for me and why it was so awful. Okay, so the first reason why is I actually live in a small ass town. When I say small, I mean like no high-rise buildings. There is no diversity. I probably make up probably 1% of the. Did I calculate that right? I'm the diversity. Okay, comment down below if you guys want to know what small town I'm in. And I'll make a whole nother video about that because that is a whole nother story. Oh my god. Okay, so like I said, I live in a small town where I am the only diversity and there's only 2 college options near me. One is a tech college and one is just a regular 4-year university. For me, I knew the 4-year university wasn't the way to go because financially I couldn't afford that. Hello? Like, it's $1,000 million and I was like, okay, the thing that I want to go into, which is social media. By the way, if you guys aren't following me, what the heck? Okay, anyways, back to the story. I was more interested in social media and so my field I went to go into was social media and I knew I didn't need 4 years of schooling for that and I wanted to kind of get to my major as fast as possible. And I had a school counselor talk to me in high school about the tech college and the program that they offered, which was digital media and design at the time until they changed the name. And he basically said that there was a social media portion of the program and it's about 2 years and they kind of teach you the ways social media works and how to grow, and he kind of made it, he sold me, I'm not gonna lie, he sold me on that. So basically I applied at almost said the name. I don't know if you guys want to know the name, but we're not gonna talk about that right now. So I applied at the college and I waited a few months and I got accepted, but to get into this college you had to be interviewed because I guess it was like a smaller college and all of their programs are temporary and I guess they all just help you get jobs. I need to get ready. I had to be interviewed by 2 of the instructors at this program. I remember going in, being so nervous but wanting it so bad because, you know, at the time I thought it's what worked for me. I thought it was gonna help me in life. I was convinced. Your girl was absolutely incredibly convinced that this was her path in life. And then they proceed to go in depth about everything that's involved in the program, which is a bunch of honestly random ass shit that I wasn't told. But it was kind of like too late and I had already made the decision that I was gonna go to this college. So basically, I get accepted into the program and I also get a, hear this, full ride at the school. So I don't have to pay for anything and I also get like grant money, extra grant money that didn't need to go towards my tuition because they gave me a full ride, which at the time I thought I was just like special and they saw a spark in me. But I honestly think just being one of the only the only person outside of Caucasian, I feel like they gave me this full ride to make themselves seem not racist, and no harm, no foul. Like, I mean, that is very sweet of you guys, but it gets worse. So, first day of the program, they go through everything that we do, and turns out we had to do math, and we learned a lot in like Adobe and stuff, and I will say that that did help me. In Adobe, you learn like branding and a bunch of other things, like how to create logos and everything, and that did help me when I wanted to start my own business. But that was about it, because the rest of the program was a ton of BS. I mean, nothing helped me. I got to the point, I was a year and a half into the program, and I got to the point where I felt like I was showing up every day and just not doing anything. Mind you, there's people in my class that don't know anything about a computer, like have never used a computer, which is crazy at this day and age. It's like, girl, how do you not know? And another downside to this program is that it's just a one class thing, so you're sitting in the same classroom for like 6 hours straight with the same people for 2 years. So I didn't make any friends. Everyone in the class, like, there were some nice people that I kind of got along with, but I had nothing in common with anyone. I feel like everyone was just kind of in their own world or just really socially awkward, which is fine, but for my ideal college experience, I wanted to meet people because my high school experience was terrible and I barely made any friends. So I was like really excited for college and excited to meet people that are in my field, but a lot of the people in the program had already been to college, kind of just didn't know what the hell they were doing, and then some people were just like there just for the thrill of it, and some people just had no idea what they were doing and had never gone to college. I had to be there like 90% of the time, so let's say you go out of town, they count that against your attendance, and if your attendance goes below like 90 or 80%, they do this thing where they like make you stay out of school for 2 weeks to learn your lesson, and if you weren't there the second time, 90% of the time, then they completely kick you out of the school. It was insane. I'm like, people have lives, people have things that are going on. If you're literally gonna kick me out of school because let's say someone's arm broke, like what in the world? Like what kind of commitment is that? But it's a commitment you had to make or you'd get kicked out. And when I started losing motivation, you know, I stopped showing up. So I'm like, okay, I'm not really showing up as much. When I am here, I'm completely miserable. I have to be here, but I wonder what would happen if I left the program. So I started thinking about that every day. I do want to say that I had 3 main instructors, and one of them was so weird. I'm gonna say he. I'm not gonna say his name, but I'm gonna say he. I feel like every chance this man could get, he was making like sexual comments about women and just always just like being inappropriate and disgusting. And that was really bad for an instructor. So he always like rubbed me the wrong way, right? And sometimes like I would ask for help and he was the only option, and I was like, fuck. So I would have to ask him a question and he would always act like I was stupid. He wouldn't treat anyone else like this, but when I would ask a question, he would make me feel like I was stupid. And there's not really a way for me to explain that in depth. Just think of a time or a place where someone's ever made you feel stupid. I don't even have to give a story. Just know that this man always made me feel like I was like less than, right? I don't know how to talk about this without crying. So basically, I had this instructor, the same guy who's always making sexual comments and treating me like I was stupid. He one day was talking about my hometown, which is not the place I'm in currently, okay? I'm from Chicago. I will say that since I'm not living there right now. I'm from Chicago, a big city girl. I guess that was his ticket in to asking more about me. So during class, while everyone's working, this man starts asking me all these personal questions. And by personal, I mean he's like asking about what my mom does for work, what my dad does for work, what I do for work. And it was just kind of weird because I'm like, why is my instructor asking about my personal life? But maybe he's just actually trying to be nice to me for once. So I tell him that my mom works at this job, and then I tell him about my dad's work. And my dad is an entrepreneur. So when I said that, he was like, oh, what kind of work does he do? And I was like, oh, he does all different types. And I didn't want to go into detail because for one, he's putting me on blast in front of the whole class and asking what my dad does and like asking about my personal life in front of everyone. So I didn't want to go in depth, and I will tell you guys that my dad, he does drop shipping, he does website design work, like he does a bunch of different things that all add up, and he has multiple streams of income. Like it's great, but I didn't want to tell him that. Since I refused to tell him what my dad does specifically for work, he goes, oh, what does your dad do for work? And I'm like, oh, he does entrepreneur stuff. He's like what? And I'm like, oh, just a bunch of different types of stuff. And he's like drugs. And the whole class starts laughing, including the other instructors. He asked me if my dad, that is from Chicago, my black dad, this man is white, I will say, he asked if he sold drugs because I wouldn't tell him what kind of entrepreneur stuff he does. How insane and incredibly racist is that? Like, I already felt out of place for the past year and a half, And now he's actually like putting me on the spot and being absolutely terribly racist. So I kind of just don't react and I just go silent for the rest of class. And then I go home that day and I tell my parents, obviously, just ranting to them. And they did not take that very lightly. Like, they literally were like, oh, hell no. Like, they called the school, they called the president of the whole school. And everyone got involved, and they actually, like, interviewed me off to the side. And they were like, okay, what was said? And then I told them what happened, and then they were like, he didn't deny it. Like, he said he did ask if your dad sold drugs. Like, he didn't deny it, and I guess he saw no shame in it. Basically, long story short, this man was already caught up with some other student, which I don't even want to know what it is, because all I know is he was always super sexual and creepy. So, since he was already wrapped up in that mess, and now he got himself into this mess, this man literally got fired. But once he got fired, oh my god, the environment in the classroom changed, you guys. All the instructors absolutely loved this instructor, and they would even hang out outside of class and had met each other's family. So could you imagine how the instructors were treating me? Because obviously they knew what was going on and knew he got his ass fired. So they were treating me so badly. They refused to even help me. One of the instructors followed me on Instagram. She like blocked me on Instagram or whatever, or like unfollowed me. And they just started treating me just like, honestly, just so rudely. And it was just so unbearable for me, and I didn't even want to be there in the first place. And then they refused to help me. It's like, as if I would have been better just going broke and going to a normal fucking city and making actual friends and not dealing with the shit. So, once he got fired, like a week after he got fired, everyone started noticing how they were like cleaning off his desk for him, because I specifically told the president that I didn't want to be in contact with this man or see him ever again. Just that phrase alone, a teacher, a college teacher asking his student if they sell drugs or if their parents sell drugs. Urban Decay is my favorite currently, you guys. I've been using it. They sent me it for free, and oh my god. The instructors that were like besties with him ended up actually coming forth to my class and like laying it all down for them and being like, hey guys, so there's been some misunderstandings. He got fired and we think it's totally unfair. He will no longer be with us. And they were just like obviously targeting me. I'm just like, oh my god, this is so awkward. And then they actually ended up interviewing someone else at my table just to have another witness and say if they heard anything. And I guess this girl like ended up saying like, I know they were talking about Chicago, but I wasn't really listening, kind of like tuned it out. I guess she kind of knew the correlation between that and then him getting fired. So she actually ends up texting me and she's like, hey, did you purposely get him fired? I was like, blocked. Stop. I don't want to hear it. By the way, we finally got to the social media portion of it, and it literally lasted a week. And it was just the basics too, like how to set up your Instagram, how to gain a follower. But some people actually needed it. Some people didn't even have a social media account. So it was a waste of time, and I'm so glad I didn't have to spend a dime on that school. And I will do a separate video if you guys want exposing that school. But I currently work there, which is great. But if you guys want an exposing video once I put in my 2 weeks, because I am doing that soon, on like literally all the racist stuff I've gone through, being the only black woman and the only person outside of that one race, I will tell you, and some crazy stuff has happened. Like crazy, crazy bad. So if you guys want a video on that, let me know. But I'm here to tell you right now that if you are going through anything that doesn't sit right with you, just know that you do not have to continue to put yourself through that. You have every right to step away from a situation that makes you feel uncomfortable or less than, because you should never have to feel like that. And I'm here to tell you right now that college is not for everyone. If college is for you, great. Go through with it, finish strong, keep going. But if it is not for you and it is not sitting right, then you have every right to just go and move on with your life and not put yourself through that. And that is what I did. And mind you, I didn't owe any money. Once I decided to drop out, I didn't owe a dime. I didn't have any strings attached to the school, so I felt totally fine. The only thing I had to deal with afterwards was just telling my family about it, like extended family and my immediate family. Like, I was so worried about them being like judgmental, and I've told my parents so far, and my parents are super supportive, And they understand because, I mean, hello, they saw how my mental health was literally falling off the face of the earth while I was attending this school. So they understood and they could see how much it was affecting me, and I am doing so much better without it. Okay, and if you guys want to know what I'm doing now with like all my businesses and social media and stuff, I can also make a video on that. But I'm here to tell you to just not give up and always do what feels right for you, what feels best for you, and know that you are amazing and you actually have a purpose in life, and don't let anyone's foolish comments define you or make you feel less than, because that is never the truth. And I don't care what ethnicity you are, okay? No one deserves to feel like or be treated like they're less than. I hate people like that. They disgust me. Okay, thanks for watching this video, you guys. I didn't even get to finish my makeup. I just have to hurry and get to work soon, and I just wanted to make this quick video for you guys. Be sure to subscribe if you're new and comment down below where you guys all are in life, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.